And we're back. So 8 days ago I posted unboxing and first impressions for this JSAUX split protective case, which we can see here. And it's since gotten 17,000 views. I kind of suspected I was first to market with that video, and it seems like that was the case, and people in the comments are verifying that that was the case. So I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm glad I could answer some questions people had in the comments, and I'm glad that people found it helpful and informative. There's definitely some people that still said, you know, they like this or that about the D-brand kill switch case, and compared to, you know, this offering from JSAUX, and you know, that's totally reasonable. I personally didn't, you know, buy this because it was the cheaper option. I bought it because I thought it was the better option, and so far, I guess as second impressions, it's living up to the hype. I haven't really run into any issues in my playtime with it, but I will be honest, I've been extremely busy in the last week with helping to run Massive LAN, so I haven't had a ton of time to play with it. I have definitely made time to play some Mario Kart, but between, you know, planning for Massive LAN and playing Death Stranding 2, because I'm still pretty early on in that game, even though Death Stranding 1 is one of my favorite games of all time, you know, that just counts to how busy I am. But in the next few days, tomorrow I'm leaving for Open Sauce. Tomorrow Donkey Kong Bonanza also comes out. And I will be finding a GameStop nearest to my hotel, or ordering Postmates or something, somehow getting a physical copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza, probably sometime tomorrow afternoon, and I will be playing that whenever I have a free moment, on the plane, what have you. So definitely going to have more testing, and in that regard we get to the topic of today's video, which is the JSAUX Joyverse series Joycon charging grip for Switch 2. So basically, as soon as I ended the recording for this unboxing, I was like, I need something to use these as a controller. Because, like, even if it's not better than a Pro controller or a Switch 2 Pro controller, that would be a fantastic option, I think. But these, with the grips, clearly are not going to fit into the OEM Switch 2 Joy-Con grip. So I was looking for something that is flat, something, I mean, ideally that could charge them, that'd be great, but it wasn't a requirement for me. But something that I could easily throw in a bag, because obviously I don't carry this in a bag per se anymore. I just throw it in my backpack. So if I could throw this in another pocket in my backpack, that was the goal, and JSAUX had an offering. So let's see how well it checks all those boxes. I really don't think there is much to this. It'll either work or it won't, but I can't even imagine how it wouldn't work. I think even their product images on their site, and I did order this from Amazon, they actually have this in stock on Amazon. I think even the product images on their site mention that, or show it working with these grip cases. So, but it's just rails, so you know, obviously it will. Looks nice. It's kind of weird that it doesn't have the light windows that you get on like the Switch 1 and Switch 2 OEM grip, the little light windows to kind of cast that LED up and make it glow a little bit more. Although I guess these LEDs are already pointing up, so I guess that's the idea. It also came with a USB C to A cable, which in the testing I'm going to do here, when I test the USB, is not going to be the best option, since there's no way to plug USB A into here, although I might have something on hand, maybe, perhaps. I usually do. I don't right now. So we'll just grab another cable. So let's see. Okay, that wasn't as satisfying of a click as I wanted. It's a very soft click in there. Because like on the console itself, it like really like slams on. You know, it gives that very satisfying. But on here, it's definitely not as strong. And you can definitely pull them out. Yeah, you don't even have to put it in on a pivot. You don't have to push the button at all to get it out. So I would like those to be stronger. It feels like it is kind of fiction fit a little bit in addition to being magnetically attached. But I don't know, I think it looks pretty good and it feels pretty good in the hand. I think it might feel a little bit large just at this angle, and with how big these grips are and how kind of the deep profile of the handles here. I do feel like this could feel large for somebody that has maybe smaller hands. But I think this feels pretty good. I don't know if I would pick this over a Pro Controller. I haven't tried the Pro Controller 2 yet, so I don't know if I would pick this over that, but it certainly feels good. Like certainly feels a lot better than this thing. And for travel, I think this is probably going to be my go-to option rather than trying to, you know, sneak a Pro Controller somewhere in my bag in a way that it's not going to mess up the analog sticks. Honestly, the more I play with it, the more comfortable it feels. It does feel like a pretty natural, like, angle. It's kind of odd. Yeah, let's see how using both sticks feels. Yeah, everything feels alright. Everything feels like it's in a good place. So, I mean, I am not in love with the fact that it is easy to remove them, but you do have to want to remove it. Like, you do have to be pulling with a bit of force. It's not just gonna... We'll do the D-brand test, you know. It's not just gonna, like, fall out. But you can pull it off when you want. So, I guess maybe that's... could be convenient. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this combination. I guess we'll see if we get a charging light if I plug this into my computer. Yeah. It even has charge LED indicators. And it seems to be just charging it. No data, because it seems like it's not connected. Yeah, it's still connected to the Switch 2. Which is interesting. I don't know if they specified that it's no data. Okay, now I'm curious enough where I'm actually... gonna grab a USB-C cable. So we've got a C-to-C cable. We'll use the port on the top here. We'll plug this in. Interesting. I don't think this is creating a wired connection at all. I think it is, when it says charging grip, I think it means literally just charging grip. So it will charge them, but it will not necessarily give you any kind of data connection to them. And this shows that they're plugged in. But even if they're plugged into my computer, it shows that they are receiving battery. Okay, so yeah, it is purely charging. I will correct myself in a pinned comment if that's not the case, but it seems like it is purely charging, no data connection. You're not going to sync a pair of Joy-Cons to a different Switch, and theoretically you could have the Joy-Cons charging off of this Switch and playing on another Switch simultaneously. I don't know why you would ever want to do that, but it certainly is interesting. And I think I'm going to wrap this up here. If you have any questions, I'll be sure to try to give them an answer in the comments. I did have some questions on the last video on the case about, like, will it fit in this case or that case or this bag or that bag? And I don't know how to answer those. I guess I don't know is the answer. Because I'm not a review channel. I don't get a bunch of these things. I'm just buying, trying to make the best purchasing decisions for myself and kind of sharing the insights I have as to why I made that choice and how I feel about about that choice. So that's just kind of where I'm landing right now. So unfortunately, I can't answer every question, but any questions I can answer, I'd love to. I hope you find this maybe entertaining and hopefully helpful in kind of making a decision about what you want to buy and how you want to play. And I hope you'll stick around and watch the next one. I think the next video is probably going to be my Hi8 camcorder trip through this year's open source. So I have no idea what I'm going to do in terms of that format, but I'm just going to record a bunch of footage and see where it goes. So until next time, have a nice day.